What's up, everyone? So I've been getting questions as to how people can cook their chicken, which way they should cook their chicken, which is the best, the healthiest. So I'm gonna take you through a meal prep for me. I actually have some chicken right here. I have 2 packets of chicken. So I'm gonna clean that and prep that, and you guys are gonna go through the whole process with me. I'm gonna go through 4 different ways that you can cook the chicken. They all give a different taste to the chicken. So you choose which one you want, depending on what recipe you're trying to do or what you're trying to eat. So let's get right into it.
We already got this far, and now together we are so strong.
Alright, so what I like to do is I like to grab one of these chicken breasts. I'll put some salt on there on both sides, and then I have a Tupperware full of water, and I'll just dunk the chicken breast in the water and just rub it and try and clean it. And what this does is it eliminates the odor that the chicken has, because let's say you marinate the chicken in a seasoning and you put it in a Tupperware and put it back in the fridge for overnight. In the morning when you open that Tupperware, sometimes that Tupperware will smell awful because of the way the chicken is. So cleaning it with this salt really gets rid of that odor. Alright, so your next step is going to be to cut away all the white crap that you see, all that fat. These are not lean cuts of chicken breast, so I'm going to do my best to take away, let's see, like that one, all that white crap. I'm going to do my best to take all that away from all these chicken breasts. So that's going to be the next step. Alright, so another thing, when you see things like this, when you see where it's bloody, like right here, you definitely want to cut that off too. I'm not about that bloody life. Alright, so the chicken breasts are done. I cut off all the fat, and as you can see, all that is what I was able to take off from them. So my next suggestion would be to grab all of this. You see, these are the little containers that the chicken was in, and they're in a separate plastic bag. So grab all this and put it with all that crap, and you're going to want to take this to the garbage right away. Because, well, not right away, but like as soon as you're done cooking. Just because this right here, these things will make your garbage smell like crap if you leave it in there for too long. So this you just want to take away to the garbage right away, as soon as possible. I did the mistake of leaving this in my garbage for like a day and a half in college, and my room smelled terrible. I had a female come over and she was like, "What the hell is that awful smell?" And that was really embarrassing. So, helpful tip, throw these to the garbage right away. You don't want to have big, thick chunk slices of chicken. You want to make sure that you get the middle of the chicken. So what I like to do, please be careful with all knife in this whole video, because right here you can possibly cut yourself and you don't want to end up being like me. So what I do is I cut this thing in half. There we go. I cut this chicken breast in half. So now I have 2 halves. Bam. It'll be easier to cook than having a big, thick chicken breast. It'll be easier to cook that middle portion. So I'm going to show you how exactly I cut them in half. So I'll grab the chicken breast. Please be careful with this. I hold it in my hand like so. I put the knife to there. Let's see, right there. Put it right in the middle. I cut a little bit, so you guys can see how deep I went. Oh yeah, I always like going deep. But right there. So then I switch the hand placement. So now you can see how I'm holding it. The sharp part of the knife, I'm like holding the sharp part of the knife in my fingers right now. So I know it's past my fingers, it's not gonna cut me. Like that. And then I just follow through with the knife. As you can see, I just follow through with the knife. Alright, so I just wanted to show you all another way that you can cook or cut the chicken. All these tips right here are from my grandma. All of these tips in this video today. So, this right here, this chicken, I have it on its side. And what I did, I already cut a little bit of it, but what I did was I started to slowly cut into it sideways. And then I would start pulling up on the part that I already cut. And then just continue cutting through. So that's another way. That's a safer way than the way I like to do it. Alright, so as far as the seasonings, I've got Mrs. Dash lemon pepper, I've got Mrs. Dash onion and herb, and Mrs. Dash Southwest chipotle. So the reason these are good is because they have no salt in them. So for those of you that are afraid of holding water because of salt, these are salt free. So I'll let your boy with the Mrs. Dash. And now it's time to season the chicken. So what I like to do is, I don't like to do all the chicken with one. I don't want to have all the same flavor. So for this one, I'll do the top of this chicken breast, lemon pepper. I do both sides. Don't do it too crazy heavy. You don't want a lot of seasoning. But as you can see, that's how much seasoning I used. There you go. A decent amount. And I do both sides. So all the chicken that's right here, this is going to go in the oven. So what you're going to want to do is set this oven right here to 450. And once, let's see, start. There we go. So once that gets to 450, I'm going to throw all of these in there. Alright, so the other way you can cook the chicken is on top of the stove. I've got the flame going. The pan is ready. I've sprayed it with the canola spray right here that I have. So the chicken is ready to go on there. So let's do it. Bam. Yep. Very nice. I'm only going to put 3 on there for right now. So, on to the next one. Alright, so while that's cooking and the oven is preheating, we're going to come over here to the other option that you have. So this is the George Foreman grill. So it's already plugged in. This one does not have a temperature control. The light just turns on and tells you that it's on. So for this, I'm just going to spray it like so. I'm going to grab some of this chicken breast right here. And that's the only bad thing about this one. This George Foreman grill is not that big. There's bigger ones where you can put like a whole ton of chicken breast. But this one is only one chicken breast cut in half. So there's 2 pieces, one chicken breast at a time basically. You definitely want to make sure that you cut the chicken breast in half for this one, just because you're getting the heat from the top and from the bottom. And if you have a really thick chicken breast, that middle portion is not going to get cooked that well. So all you got to do for this, just close it. Usually for all that grease that comes out and all the fat, there's like a little tray with these, but I don't know where mine is, so I put a plate under there. Alright, so for the next one, the next method, you're going to need a pot filled with water. I have the flame on, and you're going to want that to boil. So in the pot, you're going to put the chicken that you didn't put any seasoning on. So this is the chicken right here that I didn't put any seasoning on. Now you can cut this into tiny little pieces so that you can put it in like rice or like taco salads or whatever. Or you can just leave it like this, a big old chicken breast, and throw it in there. Me personally, I like to cut it up into tiny little cubes. So let's do that. Alright, so here's the chicken breast. And I'm going to start cutting this into little strips to put it into that pot with the boiling water. So I'm just going to cut all these right here. I also got to make sure that I'm not going to burn any of the other chicken. Let's see. There's one. Got this one. Bam. Don't cut your finger. There we go. So you can leave it in nice little strips like this, or you can give it another pass, and then bam. Alright, this one didn't want to cut. So there we go. Nice little cubes. Not too hard. Bam. Holler at your boy. So there we go, we got some cubes. So I'm going to do that for the rest of them, and I'm going to check on the other chicken right now. Alright, so let's check this right here and see what the damage is. Bam. That looks like it's about ready to be flipped. Yep, that one too. Let's check this one out. Go ahead and get it. Alright, I don't know why they're sticky and they shouldn't have stuck, but these things happen from time to time. So there we go. That's this one. That's what it's looking like on the pan. Uh-oh. It looks like the oven's ready. About to throw these bad boys in the oven. So let's check on this right here. And that's what this one's looking like. When I was in college, this was what I would do all the time. just because this was the quickest. As you can see, that one still had a little bit of pink. These are probably already ready to go. Now a quick little tip, I forgot which one gets hotter quicker. I think it's the top that gets hotter quicker. Yeah. The top gets hotter quicker than the bottom on this, so as you can see, it's like more colored right here. It's a little bit darker. And when you flip it over, it's a little bit more white. So I do like to flip these a little bit. There we go. Just leave it like that. Close that right back up. So yeah, let's put the stuff in the oven. Alright, so I've thrown it inside of the oven already. And I set the cook time for 25 minutes. And we're gonna start it. Alright, so looking at all this right now, this isn't making too much smoke. You can see like a little bit of the smoke. That one makes a decent amount over there, the George Foreman grill. So, as far as if you don't want to smell like chicken and you don't want your entire place to smell like chicken, I recommend the boiling of the water or just throwing it in the oven. But if you're on the go and you need it quick, the George Foreman is definitely going to be the way to go. As a matter of fact, let's check this. Oh, as you can see right there, these pieces are already done. Those are Gucci. So as far as quickness, George Foreman, you're gonna be able to get out of the way really quick and it still tastes really, really good. Like I said, throughout college, this is the way I did it. I actually had like 2 or 3 George Foreman grills going just because this one isn't big enough and I was too cheap to buy the big, huge ones. So right here, this is decent. We've made decent progress. Let's see. Yeah, but that's still not ready. So there you go. There's a stove. There's a George Foreman. The oven, as you can see, the problem, I mean not the oven, the pot, having a little bit of trouble getting the water boiling. And I've got the oven, which is really easy. You just throw it in the oven and just wait. You don't have to check on it. You don't have to check on it like you do these two right here. So those are little tips and tricks as to if you don't want to smell, use the oven or the boiling water. But if you want to make it really quick, this way, and it still tastes really good. So overall, I would probably still choose this one right here over all the other ones. Alright, so the time has come to put the chicken in there. So that water is going to be really, really hot. So you don't want to burn yourself by just throwing the chicken in there because it's going to splash up and it's going to burn you. So actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this right here, nice little spatula. And I have the cutting board, and all I'm going to do is just push it in there from afar. There we go. Yep. There we go. And there we go. See you guys later. So there's that. And as you can see, it's already starting to cook. You can see how it's getting all white and stuff. It's not even pink anymore. So that's the chicken. So I'm going to put this thing back on there. I'm going to let it cook for the rest of those 5 minutes and I'm going to see what it's like after that. Because we have 5 minutes left on these bad boys down here. So I'll check in with you guys once the timer's done and we'll check on both of them. Alright, so as you can see, the water started to boil again with the chicken in there. I've got a minute left. So that's what that chicken's looking like. So another thing you could do for this chicken, if you wanted to flavor it, you can throw things in there like carrots or onions, like celery, garlic. So there's a bunch of stuff that you can put in there to flavor it. But as for me, I'm just going to do it plain, so that way I have some plain chicken and I can mess around with it with different recipes. Alright, so when you cook it in nice little cubes like this, usually it takes about 10 minutes. But if you would have left it in halves, like this, in chicken breast halves, probably would have been cooking for like 15 to 20 minutes. And if you put just a whole chicken breast, said screw it, probably like half an hour. So those are little times intervals for the chicken as far as boiling. So yeah, I'm gonna get this stuff out of the oven right now. Alright, so another thing I like to do when I'm done with this type of chicken, either like this or on the stove, even on the George Foreman grill, I like to cut inside of it and make sure that it's fully cooked all the way through. So as you can see right here, let me zoom in a little bit. This one's good, there's no pink at all. Alright, so I think that chicken's about done. It's been there for a solid 10 to 15 minutes. So what you're gonna need for this step, you're gonna need one of these. You're gonna need a strainer so that you can dump all that hot water out and just be left with the chicken. So let's try and be careful with this because I also have that camera hanging around my neck. So let's try. Oh damn, that's a little hot. Alrighty then. I won't be grabbing that with my bare hands. I'll be grabbing this nice little pink rubber thing. Actually, this one's good. Only this one's hot. What's the deal with that? So make sure not to burn yourself when grabbing this. That would not be a good look. Coming this way. I'll let your boy. Oh yeah, look at all that. Little by little, don't do it all at once. There's no rush. Obviously there's no rush if you're waiting for the damn water to boil. Alrighty. So, bam. Get off. Get out of there. Alright. So, as you can see, no more chicken in here. Put that off to the side for right now. Put this back right here. Clean up in a little bit. So, that's what we're left with. Chicken. I didn't put that much in there just because I didn't want too much of this plain flavored chicken. I wanted more of this chicken. But as you can see, that's what it looks like if you boil the chicken. This is what it looks like if you throw it in the oven. And this is the George Foreman side right here. Let me get the knife out of the way. Let me not cut myself. So this is right here the George Foreman, and this one right here was on the stove. So these were on the stove and this was on the George Foreman. So those are all the different types of ways that you can cook the chicken. So now I've got my big Tupperware right here, and all I'm going to do is just throw all this in there, and I'm basically just going to grab it whenever I need it. Grab some chicken whenever I need. This, maybe I should probably put this one in a separate one, but whatever. I don't want to have a bunch of Tupperwares in the fridge, so I'm just going to throw it all in one. So bam, there we go. Got that chicken. I've got the chicken that I made on the stove. Oh, and quick note, there was no pinkness in any of the chicken, so they all cooked through very well. I'm probably going to leave these out just because I'm probably going to eat right now. My McDonald's plate game is strong. Actually, holler at your boy if you have any of those cups from up there. Old school 90s. Let's see, that's the Tasmanian Devil Cup right here. Bam. And I've got the Wile E. Coyote Cup. Bam. I had more, but I don't know where they're at. But yeah, that's the chicken, guys. Now I gotta finish cleaning up. I hope that helped you all. Sorry I wasn't in the video that much, but I'm one-handed person. I'm solo dolo. So I'm gonna finish cleaning up here. I'm gonna eat some food, and I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my rest day because tomorrow's leg day. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you liked the video, like the video. If it helped you, like the video. If you're like me, like the video. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time.